Hello, welcome to Cycle Training Wales Training Room. My name's Andrew, I'm one of the mechanics here, and this is the first of a series of videos that we're making in partnership with Blind and Gwent Youth Service. We're going to start today by looking at a bike safety check. Very simple check, whenever maybe you've got your bike at the shed or you haven't ridden it a while, and all we're doing is checking, is the bike safe to ride? And we call this check the M check. Here's the M on the bike frame here. It's a systematic check, so you don't have to remember the different things to check. You just follow the M, checking things as we go, you can't miss anything. We'll start with the wheels. We want to make sure that the wheels are on securely. So with a quick release, if you've got a quick release on your bike, like I'm sure many of you have, you want that quick release to stop very gently when it's at 90 degrees, and then close that up tight. That's how tight we want it, okay? First thing, is the wheel on securely? If you've got bolts, it will be a 15mm spanner, and you've got to make sure they're nice and tight both sides. So we've made sure the wheel's on securely. Next, going up the M, the tyre. The tyre should feel solid. Really solid, so push down on that with your palm of your hand and that should feel solid. Having a really well pumped up tyre will make sure you don't damage your wheel and you're less likely to get a puncture. Next, let's just spin the front wheel, make sure that wheel's going round without knocking into the brakes, spinning nice and freely, like that. Okay, so we've done the wheels on securely, tyre pressure, wheel spinning smoothly. Next, come up the M, we're up here on the handlebars. So the obvious thing to check is the brakes. First the front brake, put the front brake on, push the bike forward, and the back wheel should come up. We want this lever coming a third to a halfway towards your grip here. So we don't want it coming right up to the handlebar, it's too loose, so there, like so. That's the front brake, forward, back wheel up. Back brake, we push back, and the front wheel should come up. And again, we want this coming about halfway, third to a halfway towards the handlebar. Other checks on the handlebar is to make sure that the forks, or the stem, is securely attached to the fork. So we do this by putting the wheel between our knees and pulling those handlebars back and forth to make sure that's nice and secure. We also want to make sure this bolt is secure, so if I push down on the brakes and the handlebars, they don't move at all, that's nice and secure. Okay, now down to the bottom of the M. And down here we're going to check the pedals. Are the pedals on securely? We're rocking them back and forth that way. Are our cranks on securely? These are the metal levers here, the cranks. And is our bottom bracket nice and secure? So we don't want any movement down the bottom part of the bike here. Okay. Coming up the M, got the saddle. Simple check here, hold the saddle, twist it that way, and twist it up and down. Push it up and down. There should be no movement. Okay, and put a bit of pressure on that. Don't just sort of touch it lightly, that's not checking anything. Really put a bit of force into that. Down the M, we're checking the same things as the front. Tyre pressure, nice and solid. Wheel moving around without touching the brakes. And again, is that quick release on nice and secure. So open the quick release, we want that stopping halfway, pointing out, perpendicular, and then closed up nice and tight. The one thing I missed there, I'll just go back and do, is just checking that the chain moves nice and freely, like that. That it's not solid, it's not totally rusty, and doesn't have any stiff links in, okay? That's fine. Let's just run through that again, show you it's a quick check. Front wheel, quick release, is it on securely? Wheel moving around. Tyre pressure. Front brake. Rear brake. The handlebars nice and secure. Down the bottom of the M, pedals and cranks on, nice and secure, bottom bracket. chain moving nice and freely up the top, saddle on nice and secure. You notice we've got quick release here as well, so the same thing applies to that quick release, 90 degrees, that's on nice and tight. Rear of the bike, wheel moving around, tyre nice and solid, and that quick release is on nice and tight. Okay, that's your M check.